All right, we are back. There's a lot of stuff to go over here. A lot of stuff going on. First of all, in the game, I believe they pushed out all the quality of life improvements, and there's quite a bit. Um, Obviously, Unity Cup was released. They also released this new stuff here, some new events and stuff, right? I think we just got done with the anniversary events. I don't know if that's actually still going on. Maybe not. Yeah, it's still going on. And then they released this fall celebration or something. I don't know. It's like a mini event, I guess. They also did something where I got like 3,000 carrots today for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't remember what actually happened there, but they're giving just handing out carrots like crazy, which is good, right? Free carrots is always nice. I don't. There's no log, so I can't see a history of what's going on there. They also started the new scout thingy. Who's the person now? Yeah, the new support cards here, and also new. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now. I guess there's three sets of support cards you could pull from, uh, which is kind of overkill in my view. But maybe they're just trying to get more people to play, be more excited about it or something. I don't know. Either way, I've benefited from that. And in the past week, there's a lot to update you about my own gameplay. What is this? Halloween makeover? I wanna click on that. Do I have to wait for it to come back around? Oh damn it. What is this? Cinderella Gray anime login bonus? I don't know what that is. Bakushin advice. I think that's been around for a while. Support card scout, which is new. And then this thing, the Halloween makeover. What is this? We'll take a look at this story event. It's gonna start on November 24th. Wasn't Halloween in October? Like it's a few weeks late, buddy. During the event, you can train Musume to obtain event points and prize coins. Okay. Which let you unlock story episodes. Oh, and then support cards. Sweet. So, kind of weird that it's called Halloween Makeover in November. Because Halloween is, it's in the past, buddy. But yeah. Okay. So as far as my updates go, if you haven't noticed yet, you can see here my carrot count is a lot lower than it used to be. I think I had something like 20,000 carrots or so, but you can see I only have 16,000 now, and the reason being is in the past, in the event thingy where we could pull, it was between Rice Shower and what's her name again? Kashimoto, right? The support card. We got 10 free pulls, so we got 100, 100 pulls, 10 counts or 10 pulls or whatever. I think you know what I mean. And by doing that, we got free support exchange points. We got 100 of them, right? So I think I pulled one or two Kashimotos during that time, and then I pulled one rice shower, right? I believe, or maybe I pulled two rice showers. It was something like that. I pulled like one or two of each, I think, something roughly like that. And then since we had 100 support exchange points, I was kind of like, well, it's kind of a waste to not use them. So I ended up doing a 10 pull of my own, right? With my own. So I just did a 10 pull of carrots to get to 200 to get a free, support card here like this. And I think I pulled Kashimoto, I believe. So if you look at my support cards now, let's look at there. You can see my Kashimoto is level 40, so I must have pulled two during the regular, the event kind of thing. And then inside of my 10 pulls also I got one. And then at the end, when I got 200 support points or exchange points, I pulled one more Kashimoto. And the reason why I pulled that many in particular, because I did pull Rice Shower as well, because I believe at level 35, right, the training effectiveness was only 5%. And I saw that getting to level 40, it unlocked it to 10%. So I was like, oh yeah, that's worth it. You know what I mean? And then anything above level 40, I believe the benefits were kind of small. So I think race bonus went up to 10%, I believe. At max level, fan bonus was like 20%. I think event recovery went up to like 30% or something. Whatever it was, it just initial stamina is kind of nice, but uh, basically anything above level 40, I felt like wasn't worth the extra cost. Basically because I also wanted to get Rice Shower leveled up. You can see here, I got her up to level 45. And the way I did that was I think I pulled maybe 2 or 3 of her just in the normal pulling. And then I used one of those they gave us a free what do you call it? They gave us like an uncapped item, right? They gave us one of these for free, so I used it actually on Rice Shower, right, to get her to level 45. And the reason why I wanted to get her to level 45, level 50 would have been even better, but I didn't have enough stuff to do that with. But the reason why is to get to unlock her power bonus, I believe. No, I think that was unlocked already. I don't remember exactly why. Maybe it's to get her specialty priority up to 50. I don't remember why, but I just because it was either between getting Rice Shower up to level 45 or Kashimoto up to 45. And to me, getting Rice Shower up to 45 seemed like a better deal, basically. Because I was comparing them and whatever. Maybe it unlocked training effectiveness, I believe, at 45 or something. I'm not exactly sure what it was. But yeah, basically, so I spent some carrots there, some of the free ones I had, to unlock Rice Shower to level 45. And then they also gave us a free SSR ticket, right? If you looked here in the shop, they gave us a free voucher exchange here, right? In the past stream, maybe the last week's stream, possibly, I think. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to think about what kind of like who I want to buy. I think I would have either bought Kashimoto or Rice Shower if they were available, but they weren't in here. The only ones you could buy here were kind of like the stock ones, pretty much. So after thinking about it, I thought about buying Super Creek. I thought about buying Kitasen Black, because both of them would have been kind of useful. But it's only one limit or 0 limit break basically, right? So max out at level 30. I mean, Super Creek's pretty useful at level 30, but I wanted more speed cards basically. So the best speed card out of the bunch that I could buy from there at level 30 at 0 limit break was Biko Pegasus here. So Biko. So I ended up using that SSR pull, the voucher, to get Biko Pegasus. And the reason why is the training effectiveness is already at 10% at level 30. You get some initial speed. Specialty priority isn't that high. It's only 20. So it's a little lower than I would like. But it's better than what we had, right? So the speed cards I was using were these SR cards. And I only have 3 of them maxed out, right? These other ones are close to being maxed out. Like Shinko Windy is close to 45. Sweep Tosho is not even 45. We have Narita Taishin, King Halo, and then who's this? Aishin Flash is not, only level 30, I believe. Yeah. And then that's pretty much it, right? And then we had the gold chip, I guess. Um, but she has no specialty priority. And then we have Tokai Teo, but she's only a level 30. I guess I could have bought another one. But at level 35, she's not that much better. Right, so just out of all these cards here, I was like, Kitasen Black is a good card, but it's not really that good at level 30, at Zero Limit Break, right? So when I compared them, I wanted one more speed card to use because Narita Taishin here doesn't have specialty priority at all. So I think she has a little bit here, yeah, in the poolside high tides, but it's only a little bit. It's only like 20 or something. So it wasn't a whole lot, and because I don't have that many speed cards, I only have 3, right? I have Sweep Tosho that's usable, Narita Taishin, and King Halo. I can only run a max of 3 speed cards, right? Because I don't really have a 4th. I was using Kawakami Princess as my 4th. I could have bought another Twin Turbo and got this to level 40, but even at level 40, Twin Turbo is not like the best. I think it really sort of unlocks its usefulness at level 45 here once you get training effectiveness. So, you know, I only had enough tickets to buy one. So I ended up getting Biko Pegasus just because it had good base stats at Zero Limit Break and to get me a 4th speed card. And the reason I got 4 speed cards is because I figured out a support deck to use in Unity Cup for long distance runners. So I don't know if you remember, but last week I ran some sprinters, and my strategy with the sprinters here, if we take a look at these decks, was this one. So 4 wit cards, right? Kashimoto and 1 speed card is what we were using for sprinters. Right? And the reason why I was doing that was so that you didn't have to rest at all. So if we take a look at the horses that I've been running, right? So these are a bunch of test horses I've been running down here. But I was running Sakura Bakushino a lot, and you can see here this was kind of a test run. Yeah, no, this is 3 with Kashimoto and 2 speed. This is kind of the beginning of when I first started running the Unity Cup, and then you can see here it evolved into 4 with Kashimoto here and Narita Taishin. Probably wasn't a good call. And then we have Narita Taishin again. And then I swapped out a power card instead of 4 wit. I ran a power card, you know, just to see what difference that would make. And you can see the stats there. And then what did I do? I ran 3, same thing. I ran the power card again, just to make sure what I was doing made sense. And then I swapped back to the 4 wit and tried to get 1200 speed here, which I pretty much accomplished, right? And this is all, you know, without resting. I think I ran a El Condor Pasa, it looks like here, with that same deck, just to test it out on her, right? To see maybe how the career progression would work with somebody else, right? Same thing here. I think I ran a power card here, it looks like, just because Major McQueen is a longer track horse. So I wanted to see if you know, that deck would work for a longer track horse, which obviously it didn't. You can see the stats here aren't that great. And then I also inserted Fuku here, is what I call her, right? The level 40 SR card there. I ran Fuku just to see if that would make any difference, and because she's a part of the scenario, she has a scenario link there. I don't think she really didn't have that much effect, so it looks like I switched back. I tried running that power card again, didn't really work that well. Same thing, I ran 2 power cards this time, and I ran Rice Shower this time. You can see here it's before I upgraded her to level 45, right? Because I started using her and she was actually pretty good, like the stats were better than some of the other runs. So this is me trying to figure out, right, like what a good support deck for a long distance runner was. I was trying to still run the wit cards, right? So I didn't have to rest as much. But the thing is, you lose a lot when you run fewer wit cards, right? You don't get back as much energy. You don't get as many rainbows in wit, and so the amount of energy you're getting back is only like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? So you can see how it sort of evolved my playstyle here with my support deck. I started running 2 power, and then three. I switched over to just speed cards, right? I did 3-2-1, basically 3 speed, 2 power, and 1 Kashimoto support, right? And that kind of, you can see the stats there. Let's see. This one's a 4 speed, 1 power Kashimoto, right? And you can see the stats there, how they got better or worse. I think they were getting better. Here's my first A+ run on Majuro McQueen on a long distance horse. Got pretty much almost 1200 power speed and 1100 power with 800 stamina, right? This is more of a medium distance. For long distance, you really want to have, over 1000 stamina if you can, right? But I started really zeroing in on the deck that would work here, right? And basically, all that, long story short, TLDR, is that after testing it with a bunch of different horses, because I think I kind of got it on Majuro McQueen and I tried it on Gold Chip, right? I think this run for some reason is a lot lower. Well, I think I swapped something. I swapped Super Creek into the deck. The ones before were Rice Shower, I believe. No, that's Super Creek too. I guess I was just, because there's variance in the runs. So I just wanted to see, who would be the best to use there. And then I tried Super Creek out, right? You can see here. Looks like I used the stamina card there for her. And then we had vodka, right? And I started running vodka. I started running mile horses because the next cup, Virgo Cup, is a mile track. And so I thought, well, as long as I'm testing these decks out or these builds, right, I might as well run some mile horses, right, and try to create, decent mile horses because I thought about it. I know last time in the last Leo Cup, after that, I said I would just join the Open League and be able to create customized horses, like B-rated horses, right, pretty easily, so I can get like at the top end of the Open League. But then, that's kind of a lot of work. And because I have to create horses like, tailored to that. And I'm lazy. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to run with horses I have, Like I don't feel like doing all that work. And, maybe I'll create some, a couple of specialized horses here and there. Once I'm in the cup and I run them with some horses that I have and compare them to the other horses that are winning and see maybe if I can create better horses that are more similar to that. But I'm not gonna sit here and create custom horses for this thing. It's just not worth my time. So just to get a B-rated horse, why? It's a one-use kind of thing. Might as well just roll with what I have because I'm not sure I could do that much better than what I've been getting here. Like this vodka I rolled is pretty good, right? 1200 speed, 1100 power, close to 800 stamina, right? For a miler, right? That's great. And then 450, right? Guts and wit. I mean, that's solid. That's super solid. Maybe, wit could be slightly higher. Guts could slightly also be higher. Obviously the stats could always be better. But I think that's a very strong horse. So then I started running, Daiwa Scarlet is also a miler, or can be, right? But she's more of a long distance runner, but I ran her as a miler, or built her as a miler here for the upcoming Virgo Cup. And she got, just pretty solid too. 1200, 600, 1000. Probably not as good as the vodka. The vodka is probably better, right? But, you have a different style of running, I guess. She could be a pace chaser or a front runner, which vodka's a late surger, right? And then I ran Grass Wonder. I don't know why, because she is an A in mile. So you have Grass Wonder here. Very similar stats, right? Using pretty much the same deck for all of them. And you get kind of the same results. And then I started running Nice Nature, and I wanted to run Nice Nature as a debuffer, right? So Wit would be really helpful or useful as a debuff horse. You can see in the skills, I got a ton of red skills, right, for her. And that was my idea, was to run a third horse this time. Instead of just running my best 3 horses in the next cup, I was going to run maybe 1 debuff horse and 2 aces, basically. Right, so maybe a vodka and the Daiwa Scarlet, and then throw Nice Nature in there to debuff all the other runners, right? And so I got pretty good stats on her, almost max wit, 900 speed, 800 power, and then I got greedy. I was like, oh, well, maybe I can get her speed up to like 1200 speed. Possibly it's the same 4 wit, Kashimoto, and a speed card, right? The thing is, her growth rate is not in speed, Nice Nature. Her growth rate is in I believe it's in wit or something. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it's definitely not speed. So I ran this a few different times right here. You can see here. Never got the speed above 900, I believe. I think 900 was the best run. I got speed up to 1150 here, but I think I changed the deck here. Yeah, you can see here the deck is no longer the 4 wit cards, right, in 1 speed. Now I ran 4 speed and 1 wit, so I decided to flip the build. I believe this nature is pretty good, actually, but it's not the best Nice Nature I rolled. I believe the best nice Nature I rolled was that first one. So I might have to manually pick this and stick it in the team, right? And you can see here how the stats sort of changed a little bit. As far as wit goes, wit kind of came down, right? And the numbers for wit kind of went into speed and power. Stamina and guts are kind of the same, right? Where'd she go? Yeah, it was this one. So stamina and guts, yeah, we're sort of in this range, right, on the other horse. And then we just flip from wit to speed and power by using 4 speed cards and 1 wit card. And then here is Agnes Tachyon. I mostly did this to balance my team. My milers, the ones I had made, Daiwa Scarlet and Vodka, were not running in the mile for some reason on the team. When I auto-selected, they were running in the medium race, I believe. And I think it's because my medium horses weren't that good. So because those horses were pretty good, they had to fill in some of the blanks, that weren't so good. So I ran Agnes Tachyon as a medium distance runner, just so that she would take her place back on the medium team to move my milers back to the mile. But this one was also, it looks like I used 1 wit card here, 3 speed, 1 wit, and 1 stamina for whatever reason. I don't think this is the ideal build, but I think I tried it because Agnes Tachyon can be a debuffer, but I realized kind of halfway through the career that it's really not worth it to debuff on her. Even though Dominator here I believe is a inherent skill, when you can unlock this in her, what do you call it, her inherent skills. So I was like, oh, maybe she's a debuffer, but it turns out not really. I mean, yeah, she can be, but whatever. So basically, what I found was, right, let's go back. So this is kind of my short track deck, right? The same, what I talked about before is the 4 wit and the 1 speed card with Kashimoto. I think we've sort of established that. I showed you that in the last stream. In this stream, I'm gonna show you what I had learned from a week of playing the Unity Cup, trying to do some long distance runners, long track, right? Because I promised you guys I would figure out the long track deck and present that to you. I think I figured it out for the most part. You can tweak it a little bit, but it's basically 4 speed cards, right? Rice Shower if you have her. And the reason being is Rice Shower, every time you train with her, She's a power card, but she also gives a +1 to stamina. So when you train power, you also train stamina, and you get an extra point in stamina, which is great because then she's powerful enough as a support card, and that's why I upgraded her to. You don't need a stamina card necessarily then, and she also gives swinging maestro, I believe, as a skill. Oh, maybe she doesn't. Where are my runners getting swinging maestro from then? Someone was giving swinging maestro. Huh. Somebody was maybe it was I was getting it from one of the parents? Possibly? I thought I was getting it from my shower, but I guess not. Huh, that's weird. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Because normally I'll run Kitasan Black with this. Right, and so I don't know how I was getting Swinging Maestro. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was confusing that with the other run where I was running Super Creek in the deck. So basically, this deck will work even if you don't have Rice Shower. If you use a regular power card, it can work, but your stamina is going to be pretty low. So in order to, if you don't have Rice Shower, right, you have to run Kashimoto though, and 4 speed cards. The speed cards don't matter as much, which ones you run, right? But Rice Shower is kind of key here. So if you don't have Rice Shower, what I would recommend is to swap out Rice Shower for a stamina card. So it's Super Creek basically. So you can borrow Rice Shower too. You know, you could run your own. I could run my own 4 speed cards, basically, right? Because I do have 4. I have a King Halo, right? That's not in this deck right now. It's Narita Taishin for whatever reason. I think I put her in here for the training effectiveness, but I actually think King Halo would probably be a better call here to run, I believe. I mean, this is how I built it with Narita Taishin. And the reason is the specialty priority, right? The trading effectiveness is great and everything. I think that's why she's in here right now. But her specialty priority is only 20. But maybe I thought like, well, we have 3 other speed cards. Even though Pico is only a 20 specialty priority also. If you run Kitasan Black, she's pretty much, you know, like an 80. She shows up in speed pretty often. So in Sweep Tosho's like she's like a 46 at level 40. So she shows up there somewhat often. So you get double rainbows. With King Halo, you would get double rainbows more often and possibly triple rainbows. So I think I'm going to actually swap her out for King Halo so I can get more rainbow trainings. And then, so back to what I was saying before was that you have to have Kashimoto in your deck, right? And hopefully yours is at least level 35, I want to say. Level 40, I think, is a sweet spot though, because at level 40 you get 10% trading effectiveness instead of 5. And then you want to run 4 speed cards, and then if you don't have Rice Shower, you could borrow it, right? Or you could run 3 speed cards, Rice Shower if you own it, and then borrow a better speed card basically. And if you don't want to run Rice Shower, you could also run Super Creek instead. Right? I think for long distance, so this is more of like a medium runner deck. For long distance, I think running Super Creek does make sense because with this deck right here, with this, if I'm borrowing a speed card, right, your max stamina is probably going to be around 800-ish, a little over 800 maybe. If you're lucky, you might get 900 stamina, right? And that's not enough really for a long distance runner. If you run Super Creek though, you can get over 1,000 stamina, but your power won't be as high. Your power might be around 800 instead. With this deck here, you know, you'll get 1,200 speed, around 1,200 speed, around 800 stamina, and about 1,000 power. And if you swap out Rice Shower for Super Creek, let's say, for example, right? Then you can get 1200 speed, 1000 stamina, and maybe 800 power, and then like 400-ish guts and wit, right? But this is the deck I have built for now. And then I was monkeying around with some other stuff here. You can see I was kind of mixing in 1 wit card. I believe this was a 4-speed 1 wit card deck. This was more for miling. I think for a miler, this would be good, right? Because you don't really need as much stamina. And the power stat, you can get up to like 800 without a power card. And so it's like 1200, 800, 800, 400 and 600 or so. So with 1 wit card, you get up to like 600. Right? And that's more for like a debuffer. Because you don't need a debuffer to be all that, super strong or whatever. It's just there as like a debuff teammate. All right, so I'm gonna show you this this gameplay here with the deck that I've told you about. Let's go ahead, and it looks like Mayano Top Gun's not unlocked here, so let's raise her potential a little bit since we can. Not that these skills are all that useful, but we've been raising the potential of everybody else, so why not? And then I will pull up the affinity calculator just to give us the best chance of making, a pretty good horse. Let's go back into the career here. We're running Mayano Top Gun today because she's a long distance runner, right? We ran sprinters before last week. This week, as promised, I'm running a long distance runner, and I'm going to show you how the deck that I've developed performs, so you can run similar, types of things. I like how they gave us these different sort of icons here. So now I've marked all my 3-star horses with carrots, and then everybody else with this, whatever this thing is. It's like a balloon or like a water. It looks like water inside of a bowl or something. A bowl of water for whatever reason, a goldfish bowl or something. And those are just my 2 stars, right? The 3 stars get carrots and 2 stars get whatever. And I guess I could even break it down even further, where if it's speed, then they get a certain kind of a different icon, because there's a bunch of icons now that you can give them. But I think that was good enough. And so the best legacy here for Mayano Top Gun is gonna be Gold Ship, which we have a 3-star of. But we're gonna go with the guess because our gold chip's only a 2-star, so she's not gonna give any green skills. So it looks like Saiyan Sky is the next one, and I believe it looks like we have 2 Saiyan Skies. And so a lot of my strategy, the sparks that you wanna use, that I've been going with is you want a lot of power. You want power sparks, power and stamina. That's what I've been going with a lot, because your power stat lags a little bit. Right, so if you sort of support that with your parents, right, that give power sparks, then you don't really need as many. You can get away with using 4 speed cards and stuff, and only 1 power card or something. It makes sense, or not running a power card at all, because the sparks will make up for it, right? So we're gonna use this Saiyan Sky because it has the most amount of power sparks. I guess we could also use TMO Opera. He was a 9-star in power, and her affinity is not that much lower. It's only 1 point lower. So yeah, I would prefer to have all the sparks in power, actually. So let's go ahead and do that. And they gave us a couple extra careers per day. We can run 5 now instead of just 3. I think that's probably a limited time thing. So in this gold ship, looks like she's a 6-star stamina and 3-star power, which is great for us. So we'll go ahead and use her as the second parent for Mayano Top Gun. So we got the 2 highest affinity rated parents here for Mayano Top Gun. So she should perform pretty well. And then so here is my temp deck that I've been using to train. These are sort of the built ones, right? So this is for Unity long. So we're just going to copy that over to the temp deck. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just instead of the wit card, I think it has Rice Shower in there. But actually, instead of Rice Shower, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Super Creek. And Super Creek, I think I'm going to borrow because I don't have Super Creek. Because I want Mayano Top Gun to be a long track runner. If you use this deck right here on Mayano Top Gun, her stamina is going to top out at around 800, right? And for a long distance track, 800 is it's at the very bottom, the minimum of what you should be aiming for. I want stamina to be over 1,000 if I can. And so Super Creek's going to give us the best chance of doing that, right? And so we're going to borrow Super Creek, right? But we need 4 speed cards. So I have 4 speed cards, right? Because I bought that Pico Pegasus with the voucher thing, the free voucher that we got during the last run, or in the last event or whatever. So we're gonna run with the 3 SR cards that we had, and then I used that voucher thingy, the SSR voucher that we had on Pico Pegasus to get us a 4th speed card. So 4 speed, Super Creek, and Kashimoto. All right, so what I'm shooting for here with this deck is going to be 1,200 speed, 1,000 stamina-ish, generally, and about 800 power is what I'm looking for. And then 400, in guts and wit. So that's the goal. If it does better than that, great. If it does worse than that, maybe a bad run, who knows. So we'll start the career there. And basically, you know how in the sprinter mode, or when we were running sprinter short track runners with the 4 wit card deck, I was saying how you should not rest at all, right? Well, in this running a long distance runner, right, you want to rest. Basically, you want to play it the same way you would play the URA scenario. In the Unity scenario, the only difference between this and the URA is that you have bubbles for the Unity Cup, but for the most part, you can kind of ignore it. You should take the ones that are obvious, the trainings that are obvious with bubbles, right? But if it's not obvious, it's more of just a tiebreaker sort of deal. So same way as URA, right? So basically, you're gonna prioritize friendship more than anything, and this is not a very good start here because we only have 1 Uma in every category. So I guess we'll take the hint. That's probably the best training available, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. All right, and then we will see. None of these trainings are blowing me out of the water. The speed one is probably the best one, but just like in URA, if the trainings aren't that great, what I'll do is I'll take a recreation usually. It doesn't matter so much in this mode because the trainings are so bad in the beginning. So having their friendship level up doesn't do anything for you, really. It's kind of a waste of a turn. But you could be using that on upping your friendship level, right? But I've run some careers without running recreation in the beginning like this. What happens is that maybe if you get like a bad, like a mood down event, then you're from normal, it goes down to bad, right? And then you have to fix the bad. Normal's okay-ish, but bad is bad. And you want to fix that. And so you end up having to waste turns trying to fix that because sometimes it doesn't fix, in one turn. I guess I guess you could, but especially before you have friendship level with Kashimoto, to get the the dates to go on dates with her and the automatic mood up. I just found it was a good practice to just have her mood at least be good in the beginning, because then any variation up or down, it doesn't really affect things too much. You can just keep playing. Basically, even if she has a mood down, she just goes down to normal, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. And in the first couple turns, you're not getting that many stats anyways, You know what I mean? And if it's not a crazy, like I said, if you get like 3 or more, right? 3 is better than 2. So if you get a 3 support card training, then yeah, you should take that instead of doing the recreation. But if it's only like 1 or 2, meh, you know. I like to take the recreation. You don't have to. You can do what you want. But I kind of prefer to take the recreation. And here, even with the bubbles, I'm looking for friendship more than anything, right? But these trainings are all bad because there's only one one support card in each of them. So in this case, I'll use this as like a tiebreaker, like I said, right? Who has more bubbles? Well, these 3 trainings all have the same amount of bubbles. Then I'll do the training that costs the least amount of energy, which is going to be this wit training with the 1 bubble. Let's say the King Halo here, the support card, did not have a bubble. It was just her in wit. Then I wouldn't take wit, right? Like if this bubble didn't exist right now on wit, and it was only on stamina and power, I would take either stamina or power, right? Depending on, you know, probably I would take stamina because stamina is more important on a long distance runner, right? So that's kind of the tiebreaker, right? But since wit also has a bubble and it costs nothing to do, I'm going to take wit here. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. Come on, we need some friendships here. So yeah, even though this is 2 bubbles, it's only 1 Uma, right? So I want to train with the Umas. So speed is pretty important, right? So I'm going to go with speed here. So your priority should always be speed is number 1. And then depending on the distance kind of runner, since we're running a long distance runner, stamina would be number 2. And then power training would be number 3. So you're giving priority to how you train. So that's the rubric that you're going to be using. Right, so 2 Umas in a bubble. There's only 1 Uma in a bubble. So obviously we want 2 Umas in a bubble. And then see here, guts and wit would be the same, right? Because there's only 2 Umas in each. But the tiebreaker is the bubble. I think I would take wit anyway because I don't like training guts. But, you know, that's kind of the example of when a bubble helps you to decide what training to take. And this one, even though it has a bubble, it's only 1 Uma. This one is 2 Umas in the Kashimoto. And you kind of want to prioritize training with Kashimoto if you can. If she's by herself, then you don't want to take that training. But if there's like 1 or 2 Umas there with her, is great. You should always take that. Looks like wit is probably the most efficient here, so we'll take that one. And then here's Kashimoto with 1 Uma in a bubble. That one might be the one to take there. So we'll do that. You don't want to train with too much. But like I said in the beginning, the amount of stats you get is so low that it really doesn't make sense to not take some training just because you don't want, you know what I mean? Because it's just not for you. This one has the most amount of bubbles and it has 2 Umas there. This one only has 2 Umas, no bubbles. So the tiebreaker, obviously you take speed. But you're focusing on friendship, right? You're prioritizing friendship over anything. That's 3 Umas and 2 bubbles. That's great. I think that's probably the one we'll be taking. Yep. Take speed again. I don't remember what this is. We're going to take a look at this. We could do a mood down. Or we could do an energy down. I think we kind of need to rest anyway. So I think I'll take the energy down. I don't really want my mood to go down. So we'll just check the trainings here. They all look kind of like trash. Yeah, it's not the greatest training turn, so it's great. We need to rest. And same thing, same way you would play in your RA. You know how with 4 wit cards we weren't resting at all? or trying not to at least. Like no zero rest, right? When you're running a short track, Uma. But in the long, since you're playing it just like a URA scenario, you're gonna take the rests, right? And then when you unlock recreation with Kashimoto, you'll take her dates when there's like nothing else, like none of the trainings are that great, you know what I mean? And your energy is above 50%. So it's like a safe rest, basically, because you still get some stats from it. So it's kind of like a training in a way. Once when it happens, we'll talk about it. I'm sure it'll happen this run. We're just gonna skip all the races here. Just gonna view the results. I normally take the stats for all these. I kind of don't really care about the skills that much. But you can play it how you want to. The stamina training is tempting. Kashimoto, I think this training will get her to green. So yeah, I think we'll prioritize Kashimoto friendship there. Now she's green. Now we don't have to worry about it anymore. We need 10,000 fans. Okay. So we also need to find time to race here. This is a stamina spirit burst. That is good, but there's only one Uma there. Kashimoto, we don't have to worry about anymore. I mean, all these trainings are kind of trash. The spirit burst is probably going to be the one I take, and the races are trash. So yeah, let's go ahead and take that stamina spirit burst. Sweep Tosho is almost orange in the friendship level, so we can start getting some rainbows on her. We unlocked Kashimoto's dates here, and you always want to pick the middle one, or because there's a chance that her dates won't open if you pick any of the other ones. Okay. This one looks like the obvious one to take because there's 3 Umas plus Kashimoto. It looks like, yeah, that's the one we should take. So none of these trainings are blowing me out of the water, so we're going to take a look at the races here, see if there's any we can run. Not really. So we have 22 turns, huh? Usually the races that are worth running don't come until later on, closer towards the end of the 22 turns. So it looks like we're just going to have to look for, you know, either trainings. So we could take a suboptimal training here, right? Because maybe this one, Guts, might be the best one to take. Maybe this one, Wit. But they're all kind of so-so, right? So this is a good example. Your energy level is above half. Resting here doesn't make sense, right? So in the URA scenario, what you would do, I guess if you ran Kashimoto and URA, it'd be the same thing, sort of. But in Unity, since you're definitely running Kashimoto and we've opened up her dates, and our energy level is below half, but I mean, it's above half, but below the point where a date with Kashimoto wouldn't go over. This is a time that it makes sense to go on, excuse me, to go on a date with Kashimoto. You see how we didn't go over her energy bar? Her mood just went down right after that. Kind of sucks, but at this stage of the game, it doesn't really matter the mood, because it's not going to really hurt you that much, because you're only getting 11 stats, you know, 11, 5, and 7. Even with a great mood, you might get 1 more point in each. I don't like training Guts, but it looks like this is probably the best available. Alright, let's see, 10 speed or 20 stamina. We'll take the speed. I don't like wasting energy. Got 3 Umas here, plus a bunch of bubbles. This probably makes the most sense to take here. I think taking care of the trash is what we want. Yeah, for stamina. That event happened pretty early. Usually you don't get that event that early. Or not from my experience, from me playing it, but... Alright. Looks like power is the one we should be taking. Don't want to lose energy, so let's just do this one. Alright, these trainings are all kind of bad. So it might be a good resting turn, but I want to check the races first. Yeah, these races all kind of suck. Let's see if we can schedule the race now. I guess we could do this one. We need 10,000, right? So there must be one here soon-ish, where it's a decent amount of fans. This one maybe? Hopeful Stakes. Looks like 7,000 fans. We'll schedule that one. We don't have to run it, right? We're just scheduling it just so to remind us that, oh, you know, there's a race today or whatever. And if the trainings aren't that good, then, you know, we have a good out there, a reminder. I don't know how many fans you need for this one. Maybe we could schedule that one. Not that we could run it because it's locked, since we need more fans. But so here's another one, Satsuki Show. So it looks like we're gonna have to run in that Hopeful Stakes one because these are all locked. So we'll just plan to run in the Hopeful Stakes for sure. And this turn wasn't very good, right? Yeah. So we're gonna take a rest here. And the reason why I'm not taking the date is because we're under 50% energy. So a rest will be worth it, basically. So we've got our first rainbow here, decent stats. And it'll also finish our friendship level with one of the other Umas. So that's great. Two Umas there. That's probably going to be our best bet with some bubbles. We got one turn left till the Unity Cup, the first race. So if you play it this way, even if you just chase friendship, normally the bubbles will sort of land in places enough to where you'll hit enough of them that you'll do decently in the Unity Cup. You might need to, you know, run a lower level sometimes. Oh, this looks like the race we want to take here, so we'll definitely take Hopeful Stakes. Hopefully we win. And this might fulfill our fan count need. Yep. Yep. So we're good on the fan count. So normally what I'll do is I won't even edit the team because normally, you know, I don't want to bother looking at that. I'll look at the first, if my rank is higher than the rank of the other team, then you're auto running that race. It doesn't really matter what the thing says here. But normally I'll look for 3 double circles, right, at least, to run that against that team. But in this case, we have 2 double circles and 2 single circles, right? So that's 2 chances basically at coming in first, even though we're not favored, right? So I think that's chances I'm okay with, I think. So, or the other thing you could do is just rank down and just run this group right here, right? Because then you'll be double circles and everything, right? And you can run. You don't want to lose a race. You can run the middle option, the second option here, like I think twice in a career, and as long as you win both of those, it's not really going to affect you that much. You'll still, I mean, you won't get as many bonuses as you would if you ran the first tier here, the highest rank team, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So we're just gonna go ahead and risk it here since we have two single circles. I'm okay with that. If you put them together, it's a double circle, right? So we'll see. If we lose, then that's kind of a bummer, but whatever. So we won. So that risk paid off. And you just get like slightly more skills, like team skills or stat points for your team too. It honestly, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. We'll get food. I think it's energy. I just want to double check here. Yeah, make sure we're not doing something crazy. All right. Now we have a single rainbow there. We got a bunch of bubbles there. Single rainbows aren't the greatest trainings, right? Because it's only a single rainbow. So I think normally I would run this power training because there's 3 bubbles plus 3 Umas there. You're probably getting the most amount of stats from that also. 30 stat points basically combined, right? Plus 4 it looks like. But because our energy level is under half, or it's pretty much just exactly at the halfway point, I could take a rest, or I could take a date. I think I'm gonna take a date so we don't go over the. If we happen to get a well rested, we don't waste like 20 energy or whatever, right? So it's getting your energy up, but so that's the perfect use of Kashimoto's dates, where the trainings aren't the greatest and you could use some energy, but you don't want to take a rest. You know what I mean? This kind of middle no man's land. Some runs that doesn't happen a lot, so then you don't really go on dates with Kachimoto, or you don't need to because you're just taking straight rests. You know what I mean? Like the trainings work out where you're not having to take like a half-assed rest basically. In those cases, you kind of want to force the dates with Kashimoto sometimes, even though you maybe should be taking a training. I don't know. It's kind of up to your discretion. Just because since we're not running, I mean, in this career we are running a stamina card, but in a different career where you maybe if you're running Rice Shower as your as the power card, 4 speed, and Rice Shower power, then Kashimoto is really your only source of stamina, right? And going on dates with her gives you stamina from those, when you complete the dates. So I think this is the best training, even though it's only 1 bubble. And all of our friendship levels are maxed out, or, not maxed out, but as good as they can be. Or they need to be, I mean. Alright, so now we've got some bubbles here. Biko Pegasus's friendship level there could use some work. We have a Spirit Burst and Guts, which we don't really need. So we're going to take this stamina training. We also fill up the Spirit Bubble for, what's her face? Super Creek. Alright. We have a Spirit Burst and Power. These trainings are not very good. So we're going to take a rest here. We're under 50% energy, right? Instead of taking a date. You could be like, well, why wouldn't you take a date? Our mood's also only good. So we would get a mood up. But because we're below 50% energy, resting would be more efficient, right? So we're going to do that. We don't need this race, so we're just going to close it. And we're gonna train instead because training's always better than racing. I guess I could do it, but we're full up on energy, so we'll just take this one. All right, we got a speed burst and a rainbow in speed. That's great. Perfect. We'll take that. I think this is extra training, right? Yeah. Here's our first inspiration. This is where you can get a majority of your power stats from the inspirations. Yeah, we got 73 points in power. That's how you can get away with not training power so much. Our stamina is looking good, 500 already. Okay, that's a couple bubbles there, plus a rainbow, plus Kashimoto's also there. Yeah, that's probably the best training available. We're just gonna ignore the races from here on out because we already achieved the goal of getting 10,000 fans. I just scheduled those races, just so we had them lined up in case we, didn't come in first or something. We can get 30 energy by doing the second option, so we'll do that. We got a rainbow in speed and a spirit burst in speed again, which is really good. So we'll take that. We got a random mood up. That's nice. Rainbow and speed. 2 bubbles and guts. I think the rainbow is probably going to be more worth it. Because guts, we don't really need to train all that much. Okay. And then now it looks like these trainings are kind of trash, right? So you could kind of get confused and be like, well, is it worth it to take the bubble training? No. We're playing this like a URA scenario, right? So bubble training doesn't make sense to take at all because it doesn't. Would you take it if you were playing URA? You wouldn't, right? So why would you take it here? We could rest because it's below 50% energy, but it is kind of on the higher side of below 50%. So I think I'm gonna take the recreation here. Go on a date with Kashimoto. All right, 1 rainbow. We need to start getting some double rainbows and stuff. It is gonna be summer pretty soon. Maybe I should take this wit training. Single rainbow is not that great of a training. And we do need some wit, right? Our wit is like really in the gutter. So I think I'm gonna take wit here. Triple rainbow, nice. All right, so we'll check the team here. Like I said, 3 double circles, right? And we have triangles for everything else. So this is definitely a case where you're gonna rank down and you're just gonna take the second rank race. Like I said, towards the end, it doesn't really matter all that much. Obviously you want to win on the top rank as much as you can, but if your team's just not good enough, it's not good enough. You know what I mean? You're not chasing bubbles, right? You're chasing friendship. So sometimes it gets undertrained. You know what I mean? It's RNG. So some runs it happens and some runs it doesn't. Whatever. Taking the middle race is not the end of the world. As long as you just don't lose. That's basically all you have to do is just not lose. All right, so now we have a rainbow in stamina and 2 bubbles. Or we have 3 bubbles in wit and 2 umas there. Summer is usually the time like when URA, right? The URA scenario where I do a lot of wit training. So it's the same thing. I don't know if this rainbow is really worth it. I mean, it is. 31 and 12 is a lot of stats. But generally, I do a lot of wit training in summer. So I think we're going to do the wit training here. And the benefit is that I had bubbles there also. I think if stamina had more umas there, instead of I think it was only Super Creek there, right? And a couple of the race the Unity umas or whatever you want to call it, not our support umas, but like the other umas. And so it was just Super Creek by herself. The stats are good, but I would rather have more umas there. So this is great. Good training. 41 points, skill points or stat points. Yeah, none of these trainings are all that great. We do train wit during the summer. We try not to rest during the summer, right? So we get a couple bubbles here. Not the best training, but it's better than resting. It's basically a free turn, right? And we get some wit. And we also get some bubbles at the same time. So, like I said, same thing as URA. Play it like the URA. Power or guts? I'll take the power. And then it looks like none of these trainings are all that great either. So 20% is, I think I would normally take power here. This training, you get 35 stat points. But I don't know that it's worth a 24% failure rate because there's no rainbows or anything, right? So I think I'll just take wit again because that's what I do in the summer is take wit, right? All right. So we got a single rainbow here. Yeah, not very good trainings here. I guess we could take wit because to fill up the friendship level of Biko Pegasus there. But this might be a good chance to go on a date. Because our energy is above 50%, right? And then, so you don't want to take a rest because you would waste some of that energy. The date is kind of like the good middle ground thing to get some energy back, but not waste any of it. All right, single rainbow, but there's 3 bubbles. So 3 bubbles is decent. It's a decent amount. Or we could take wit here. I think I'll take the 3 bubbles. I know it's only a single rainbow. In URA, normally single rainbows, not so great. But the bubbles do sort of matter in this mode. So this is a case where, oh, okay, you got me. 3 is better than 2, right? You want the 3-sum or the 4-sum or whatever, right? Bubbles are like a lesser rainbow to me. It's like it's like a half rainbow or something. You know what I mean? So there's 3 of them there, and they're half rainbowing out, mini rainbowing out. It sort of makes sense to take that. You know what I mean? At least like that's the feel I got after playing a bunch of careers. This is another case where I feel like I should take a date, but it is our last date with Kashimoto, so in case we have a mood down event, we won't be able to really fix it. So I think I'll just take the wit here, even though it's kind of like not the greatest training, because we do get a couple bubbles at least. I don't know, because I want to save that last date with Kashimoto in case we have a mood down event. All right, now we have to be aware of her fan count level for her unique skill to level up. We're in October. She runs into Rima Keenan. If she wins a Rima Keenan, we won't have to worry about her fan count at all. I don't think, because she has 35,000. Yeah, we just need 70,000 basically. So I think we'll be okay as long as she wins a Rima Keenan. And I think with the stats that we have, I think she will win. Double Rainbow probably makes the most sense to take. Yep. See, we had a mood down event, so she's only in a good mood now. So saving that date probably was a smart thing. And we'll take it when the trainings aren't that great. Maybe now would be a good time, since the trainings aren't that great. Or we could just take a rest, because we are kind of low on energy. I think we'll just take the rest here. Wasted some energy there because we got well rested, but yeah, see, because Super Creek's in the deck. Okay, I was just gonna say, like, why did we get Swinging Maestro, but I just remembered that Super Creek's in the deck. Alright, so these trainings aren't the best, and I really wish Pico Pegasus would get her friendship level up a little higher, but it seems like this is speed is probably the best training to take here. So we'll do that. Not really getting a whole lot of bubbles either. It's a little bit concerning. Hopefully we win this race. Second, that might not be enough then. Yeah, we're barely short like 10k fans. So we're gonna have to run an extra race. And that's probably because of her mood. Was only, if it was great, we probably would have gotten first. So, you know, mistake, I guess. Mistakes were made. This probably won't be good either. Oh, we have 3 double circles, so we're good for this one. Run the top ranked team. Won all the races, that's good. So we'll have to look at running one more race here. We'll take a look at the race list and pick one that I don't think I want to take the energy because it'd be a waste. So we'll take the stats. We'll look at the races. We need about 10k. So this one, 6,000 might be enough for us to get our unique skill to level up. We need it by February, right? Valentine's Day. So it looks like we have to run. We'll run maybe in this one, possibly. Or at the very yeah, at the very latest, we have to run this one, pretty much. So we could run this race now. This is in this turn, 5,000 fans. I don't know that it would get us to 70k. Or run this one. So either this turn or next turn, we have to run in a race. So if these trainings are not that great, we could run this turn. But it looks like this speed training with all these bubbles makes sense to take. Right, so that means we pretty much have to run in this race. So I just want to check what the trainings would have been. Yeah, not the greatest here. So good thing we could just take this race. Hopefully we get enough for the second level to level her unique skill up twice here, so we don't have to run another race. But if we don't get 70k here, we have to run another one. So hopefully this is enough fans. Yeah, we're over 70k. So now her unique skill will level up in April as well, and we don't have to do anything. All right, her mood went up automatically just from that race, so that's good for us. A ton of bubbles here. Biko keeps showing up in weird places, not in speed. So her friendship level's not really leveling up that much. I guess we'll take the speed training with the bubbles, even though there's no support cards there. Because she has too much energy for a rest, and I don't know if I want to... I think I want to save Kashimoto's date still, or hold on to it. So this is like a case where, you know, it doesn't make sense in Uri finale to take this training, but in Unity Cup it does, just for the bubbles, because all the other trainings aren't, you know, they're not that good. Maybe, I guess this one would probably be the best one out of all of them to take. I mean, I guess I could take that one. That is a lot of bubbles though, so I'm gonna go for the bubbles. I think either one, you know, you could have taken. And you could have had an argument for either training. Maybe I should have taken the other one, actually, seeing this, or taking a wit training or something before, because this is risky here. 32% failure, but it is a lot of stats. It's what is that? 55 stat points in speed, and 23 in power. What is that, like 70 something total? 78 points total. I mean, I think this is worth the risk. Hopefully we don't fail. Yes. Nice. That's going to force us to rest though here. Just see if the trainings would have been good. Oh, this would have been a good one. The stamina training to get the friendship level up there too. But unfortunately, we're going to have to take the rest. We're forced into it. Oh, nice. Well rested. I like that. Should be pretty solid here. I think we shouldn't lose from here on out. I don't think any of these races. We should probably get our stamina stat up a little more. But we're only halfway through the career. And I think we're past halfway to our goals here, our stat goals. So I think we're doing pretty good. We haven't failed any trainings yet. We've been getting decent trainings. Maybe there's been one or two that have been less than optimal, right? Kind of crappy, but in general, I think we've been having a pretty good run. I wish we were getting more double and triple rainbows and stuff, but we're not, so kind of sucks. But maybe I should take this guts training, because I don't think I've trained guts at all this run. So it looks like Biko really likes this guts training. So maybe we'll do it once here, and maybe she'll move on to somewhere else. Let's see, we want the speed, so we'll take speed. Second? What? That's got to be some kind of stupid RNG kind of thing. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Once your unique skill levels up, like, it doesn't really matter. As long as you keep moving on in the career, like, who cares? The fan count doesn't really matter to the end of her senior year, where normally to get her unique skill to level up the last time, you need 120k fans. But usually that's pretty easy. Like, you don't, even if you lost all your races, you would still get that. All right, we have a Spirit Burst and Speed, which is always something to consider there. I think we might have lost that race because our stamina might not be high enough, possibly. So since we're rainbowing in stamina, even though this is more stats, I think we'll take the stamina training, because we're looking at trying to get over 1,000, or at least 1,000, and it is lagging behind speed a little bit. And so that's probably why we're losing races here. So it's probably smart to take stamina again. And then it looks like we're going to have to rest. Oh man, that would have been a really good training too. 41 points. Plus 2 bubbles. But oh well, you know, we took stamina, you know what I mean? Shouldn't have trouble with the medium length races at that stamina level. It's just the long races right now. We need to get to at least 800 to, you know, not really lose those. All right, let's see if how we stack up against the top ranked team here. Oh, we're gonna blow them out of the water. All right. Sometimes you lose though. I've had where I was double circle for everything, and I lost. It was crazy. I think it was against the last team too, the devil team or whatever, the hell team. They kicked my ass even though I had double circles for everything. Because I just went into it thinking, oh, I'm gonna win. It's gonna be easy, right? Easy win, and then no, they kicked my butt. All right. Here in the summer, no rainbows. So normally, like I said, I like to take wit, but I really do want to finish off the friendship with Biko here, so we could start getting some triple rainbow, you know, quadruple rainbow business here going. So we'll hunt for her. Where is she? Where is Biko? Okay, she's orange. So her friendship level's good enough now. I think I'll take the Spirit Burst. Do I want the Spirit Burst or do I want to get more bubbles? I mean, this one would fill up her bubble all the way, right? Stats wise, the Spirit Burst is probably the way to go. But I think I'm gonna take the power here. This could be a mistake. Oh, Spirit Burst and power. I mean, I don't mind that. Or I could take this one, stamina. Because we do finish off the spirit level of the bottom 2 runners there. So let's go ahead and do that. So, oh no, she failed. Oh, damn it. Okay. Double rainbow. I'm afraid of failing now. 35 and 16. We do need the stamina. I think I'm going to take the stamina. All right. I think we're going to have to rest at this point. I do want our speed to be 1200 also. We're kind of pushing it close here. Juggling a lot of things here. Trying to get stamina up as well as speed up. The stamina probably makes sense to take. The Spirit Burst. Got some more rainbows. We do need energy as well. And we need to up our mood, I think, more than anything. So I think we'll take the last date with Kashimoto to get our mood back to great. So we get bigger training bonuses, right? Bigger numbers. I think it's going to be worth it, even though we passed on a rainbow. Because we're getting to the end of her career, I believe. I think this might either be the last one or the second last race right here. Because we're in October. She might run into Rima Keenan. Yeah, we have one more race left. But not a lot of turns left here, so we really need like a triple rainbow to happen for us. But it looks like that's not going to. Let's see. I guess I should just push the speed here. We might not make 1200 speed. Because we do have to rest at least once or twice. Also. So that's 2 turns already. Which one is this? Energy is that one. Single rainbow. That is, that's a bummer, man. That is a bummer. Wit training, we need wit to be around 400, so yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. Trying to do too much. At least we don't have to rest because we got some energy back. No rainbows, huh? That's that is unfortunate. No spirit burst either. I guess we should take the speed. 19 and 9. 21 and 8. They're kind of the same, right? You get a couple extra points here from the unity training. But yeah, we're not getting the rainbows that we need here. I think I've only gotten 1 triple rainbow this whole run. And not that many double rainbows either. Maybe a handful, like 3 or 4. So RNG kind of is killing us as far as the rainbows, at least. Maybe a big rainbow here. If we can get speed over 1,000 here, that'd be great in one training. Right before, because we only have 3 turns left now. I don't know that we're gonna win this race. Oh, we're double circles and everything. So this is what happened last time. It looked like this, double circles. We were favored and everything, and then I hit this, and then I lost. We lost it 3 races, maybe 4 actually. I was like, that makes no sense. We were favored. See, 3 and 2. I mean, at least we won, but last time I lost. So you can have the best team and still lose. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't really worry about this. It's just like an extra, like a mini rainbow for me. The bubbles, they don't really mean anything. I just ignore them for the most part. Sometimes I'll take them, you know, just because there's so many. But besides that, I just kind of ignore the bubbles. I don't think they really mean a whole lot in this grand scheme of things. Why are all the spirits bursting now? There were like 3 turns where they could have bursted, they didn't. Looks like stamina gives us the most amount of stats here. And we kind of do need stamina. Oh, man. So I think I might have saved the... I wasn't trying to save the spirit burst. I was just doing what kind of made sense in the moment. Well, we probably won't be able to burst all the spirits that we have collected. It's kind of a bummer. Unless we get multiple spirit bursts in the same stat category. I think we need to rest too. Or at least take a wit training or something. We don't have enough energy to do it. We have 2 turns left and not enough energy to take both. I guess we could take this wit training to burst the bubbles and get some energy back. This double rainbow is kind of nice though. Yeah, we just don't have enough energy, so we have to take this one, and then hopefully we get a big rainbow stack the next turn, the last turn. Come on, big rainbow stack. Triple, quadruple rainbow. Give me one quadruple rainbow at the end. Quadruple rainbow. No, no rainbow. No rainbow at all. Zero rainbow. I guess this makes sense to take, right? 57 plus 31. What is that? That's like 90 skill stat points. That's crazy. So, might as well. All right. I mean, that wasn't ideal. Obviously, I would want 1200 speed, and we didn't. We're gonna be over 1000 speed, but you know, I would have preferred it to be. You know, we didn't. We just didn't get the rainbows we needed at the right times. Only got one triple rainbow, and maybe a handful of double rainbows. Less than five, I would say, the whole run. So just unlucky. Not the best RNG this run. Whatever. What can you do? You know what I mean? You just run it again. Run it until you get a good run, basically. But this should have resulted in 1200 speed, about 1000 stamina, and about 800 power. I think we got way more power than we needed. We got up to almost 1000 power also, I believe. I guess we'll see here in a second. All right, so our final stats were 1000 speed, 1000 power, I mean stamina, 860 power, so we didn't overshoot the power stat actually at all. Our guts stat was 500 though, so we overshot on guts. So a couple of the guts trainings that I took, I think only took like one or two in guts, but we probably didn't need to take any guts trainings then. She must have a growth rate in guts, just naturally, I believe. Yeah, she has a 10% growth rate in guts and a 20% growth rate in stamina. So you probably didn't need to train guts at all on her. We probably trained wit a little bit too much, right? I did train wit quite a bit. So those could have just been poured into speed, and we would have had a 1200 speed horse, right? With 400 guts, 400 wit, which is the bare minimum, is serviceable. That's what you need. Anything more than that, it doesn't really do a whole lot for you. So there's no point in getting more. We'll just get over some skills here. She's what the hell is she? Is she she's a front pace and late surger and an end closer? Wow, she does it all, huh? I think she's set as a pace chaser normally, isn't she? Or is she a front runner normally? I don't even know. What is Mayano Top Gun? Maybe I'll Google it real quick. What is Mayano Top Gun running style? She's front running or pace chasing normally. All right, so I guess I think I like her as a front runner kind of. Let's see what skills we have first of all. I like to start the bottom. We got medium. I'm building her as a long distance runner, so we don't want anything that does like medium here, even though she's good at that. This build in particular was for long distance. Front runner, leader's pride. Meh. Increase velocity when passing another runner late race. Well, she might not pass anybody. I think we're gonna turn her into a front runner. So maybe that one. Directly ahead. If she's a front runner, nobody's gonna be ahead. These are mediums. Miles, sprints, don't care about any of these. Don't care about that. Don't care about this. Medium, medium. Final push. We'll do that. Fast pace. Sure, why not? Early lead. Increased maneuverability. when the way well she's front running, so she shouldn't be blocked at all. She's probably not passing any runners in the middle of the race, so that's not useful either. I guess I could get Breath of Fresh Air. We'll get Rushing Gale, because that she'll use that at the end of the race, right before the finish line. And then we have 80 points left, 87 points. So I guess we could use it on a green skill. Is there anything that's like 80 points? Medium straightaway, we don't care about that. She's a long distance. Lucky 7, no, not enough. Sympathy, no. What is this? All I've got, no. So we'll just get the most expensive green skill here. Non-standard distance, maybe. Sure. Okay. Done with that. I'm guessing this is an A plus since we got 2 stats to 1,000, but just barely, I would say. Yeah, just barely an A plus. So definitely the run could have been better. I think not the best run. RNG wasn't the most helpful as far as rainbows go. We could have gotten more rainbows, especially with 4 speed cards. But you know, just kind of unlucky, I guess. So these are the support cards I used. Four speed cards here, right? Just the 4 speed cards I have that are useful. This is the Biko Pegasus, as I've said in the beginning of the stream. I pulled this one with the voucher that they gave us for free, the SSR voucher. I decided to use it on Biko, so just so I have a useful 4th speed card instead of I was running Kawakami Princess. I could have pulled Kitasan Black, but at 0 limit break, it's not as good as Biko Pegasus at 0 limit break. And then we borrowed Super Creek here for stamina for a long distance. For a medium distance runner, you would use Rice Shower instead, right? Because Rice Shower gives you stamina when you train with her. So with Rice Shower, your stamina would get up to like 800. With Super Creek, your stamina should get up to 1,000, right? So 4 speed, 1 either stamina or power, depending on what distance of runner you're trying to create, and then Kashimoto. Preferably a 2 limit break Kashimoto or higher. 1 limit break, you know, maybe not so much. I mean, 1 limit break's not gonna kill you. You know, it's not gonna kill you. The only difference between 1 limit break and 2 limit break here, between level 35 and level 40, basically, is that level 35, she only gives you 5% training effectiveness, versus at level 40, it jumps up to 10. So you get double the training effectiveness. 5% is not going to make or break anything, though. It's a few. For 1,000 stat points, it might be, I don't know, 50 maybe ish, but you're not training with her all the time. So you might lose out on like 20 stat points or something, you know? So it's not that big of a deal. But if you have her, you want to use her in your own deck. If you have to borrow her, I don't know that that's worth it, because then you'll lose out on like a max limit break, you know, Kitasan Black or somebody, you know what I mean? This is the best Mayano Top Gun we've made so far, because I haven't run her. This is the first time I'm running her in Unity Cup, where in general we've been scoring a lot higher, right? So this was my best URA result, 12,000 points. And then in Unity Cup, first try, 12,300, right? So we got 300 more points in Unity Cup than we would have in URA. All right, let's slap her on the team. I think she's on the dirt team right now for whatever reason. But she should go to my long team, I think. She's probably better than some of the long distance runners I have on that team. Although these are all A pluses. We'll see if she slots in at all. She did slot into us. She's a sprinter? That doesn't make any sense. Why is she a sprinter? Mayano Top Gun is not a sprinter. But I guess she's better than who was there before. And then Tokai Teo went over to long, it looks like. But my mile team now is pretty solid, right? You have Vodka. I want Daiwa Scarlet eventually to move over to the mile team, because she's really strong. She's 1200, 600, 1000. This was built with 4 speed, the rice shower, like I said before. This is the one I've been promoting, right? This deck right here. 4 speed. I borrowed a Kitasan Black, right? Kashimoto and rice shower. Stamina didn't get up to 800, but that was just RNG. Generally, I think, and I didn't care that much to train stamina because she's a miler, and milers don't need that much stamina, right? 600 stamina for a miler is good enough, you know. But we have Grass Wonder here instead. So she's 700 stamina. I mean, this Grass Wonder is pretty strong too, actually. And this was the same deck pretty much. 4 speed, Rice Shower, and Kashimoto. And 700 stamina. I believe on this run, I was trying to turn her into a miler as well, I think. So that's why I didn't care too much about training stamina. If we look at some of the longer distance horses like Super Creek here, I ran a stamina card with her though, so she should have more stamina than other horses. Let's look at a horse that I didn't care that much about. So this is the same deck, right? 4 speed, Rice Shower power with Kashimoto. You can see here 800 stamina, right? Almost 1200 speed. I just stopped training speed because I didn't want to go over and waste stats. So I stopped at some point and it wasn't enough by 18 points, but whatever. And then power went up to 1100, right? Wit was a little lower because I didn't train Wit as much. I think this run was pretty good. So I got a lot of rainbows and stuff. So I was taking those trainings and I didn't have a chance to train Wit that much. But this was in Unity Cup, and you can see here I got 800 stamina. So it's just because some of these other ones, it's just proof of concept. Here, same thing with what's her face, Gold Chip. Same deck, 4 speed, Rice Shower, and Kashimoto, and you got 800 stamina. So it's very consistent. No matter who you use, as long as your parents are giving you power sparks, right? Nine star power, right? And then this is a 9-star stamina horse, right? So as long as you're giving your parents stamina and power, then you should be good. You should be very consistently getting 1200, 800, and 1000 power with this deck with Rice Shower in your deck. And if you swap out Rice Shower for Super Creek, you should be getting 1200, 1000, 800. So these numbers just flip, right? And then this particular run, you can see here I got 100 more points in power than in speed. It should have been in speed, but just the nature of the rainbows and whatever happened to work out this way. You know, RNG, whatever. All right, so it looks like my team rating went down actually, because Mayano Top Gun should not be on the sprinting team for whatever reason. Oops. Weird. Whatever. And then we'll run a team race, see how they do. I wanted to see how Mayano Top Gun was going to do, but she's not going to do well on a sprint because she's just not a sprinter. So it's kind of a waste. But I guess we'll take a look at how they do. I haven't been winning as much. Oh, I lost them all. Because the competition is getting a lot fiercer here. I guess we could take a look at some of the competition just to see who we're racing against. But they're all pretty good now. I am in A2, I believe now, or A1. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Shit, we got to race again. Yeah, I'm in A1 rank now. And all these horses are very strong that I'm running against, and I haven't really looked at them all that much. So we only won 2 races that time. So yeah, we're not winning that often anymore. We're losing a lot. Let's take a look at the race results. So some of these other horses here, 1200, 800, 1000, a little bit more guts and a little bit more wit. I mean, that's not crazy different from what I'm getting. This one used Kashimoto and Tazuna. Interesting. 3 speed cards and Haru Urara guts card. That's probably for the 15% training effectiveness, right? But this person definitely spent some money here, or it looks like they kind of spent some money. Maybe not. But a max limit break, whatever this is, special week or somebody, right? And then Kirisan Black's almost maxed out. This is free, the Haru Urara, so not too concerned about that. Tazuna and Kashimoto are not maxed out. I was able to get Kashimoto to 40 for free as well, so maybe they didn't spend any money. Who knows? Actually, this vodka very similar as well as my horses. So I don't know why they're winning and I'm not. It might be a mood thing. In this deck, he used 3-speed Tazuna and Kashimoto again, and then a Wit card here. But this is not that much different from the stats I've been getting, right? My this one has the S and Turf though, so not sure why. Cause here's my vodka, right? 1200, 750, 1100, 450, 450, right? And then we look at their vodka, 1200, 700, 11, not that much different, honestly. 450, 450, right? But I don't know why their vodka won over my vodka. You know what I mean? And that just might be an RNG thing or a mood thing or something. I don't know. So let's take a look at this one. This one's stats not even that great either. They're using Kashimoto, 3-speed, 1 power. It looks like Haru Urara is like in every deck here, but this is just this particular player, right? Because it's the same guy over and over again. Hiaki. This horse is not that good either, but somehow it didn't win, but it came in second. So at this level, I think it might not matter as much. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Maybe the new guts mechanic is coming into play here as well. So that could be why. Let's take a look at this Oguri cap. 1200, 800, 950. I mean, this one's pretty strong. Use 3-speed, Tazuna, and Kashu. This guy really likes using the double support. And then really likes that Haru Urara in there for whatever reason. But he's got his own Kirisan Black. I mean, if I had these cards, I would probably be able to make better horses than this guy can. But I don't have all these cards. So he's using all SSR cards, right? And then my horses, yeah, I have 2 SSR cards in here. So I think that's doing pretty damn good. You know what I mean? Comparatively. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. So just to recap, what's going on here? Oh, Champions meeting's open. So maybe I will run this on the stream. We could see how my horses do, right? Let's see who the computer selects. Yes. That's who I would have picked as well. Yes, yes, yes. I think these make sense. These are probably my 3 best horses-ish. Maybe Nice Nature wouldn't be my absolute first choice, but given the team dynamic, I think she makes sense because she's a debuffer. So let's go ahead and run this and see how it does before I sign off. Probably racing against pretty stiff competition here. We'll take a look. This is my Sakura Bakushino. This is the enemy Daiwa. Doesn't look that great. Enemy Smart Falcon does not look that great. This Taiki Shuttle is pretty strong. This is probably my vodka, it looks like. Grass Wonder looks pretty strong. This is enemy Bakushino. Looks okay. Marozensky. A lot of stamina. And then I think that's my nice nature. Give back to my Bakushino. Okay. I mean, I think I should win. I feel like I should win, but you know, who knows? This shit, unpredictable. All right, I guess we'll watch this in a little bit faster speed here, but we'll definitely just watch it. Our positioning is not the best here. Our Sakura Bakushino did break out of the pack. She's making her way to the front there. It's Bakushino versus Bakushino. I think Taiki Shuttle's in the race as well. Yep, I think my Bakushino won. Nice. Just 4 more, man. Give me the 5 win. I mean, I'm pretty confident. My horse is pretty good. Did my sound go out? Oh my god. There we go. I don't know how long that was going for without sound, but I'm sorry for that. All right. Race number 2. I'm happier with the positioning. Vodka's in a pretty good position, as long as she doesn't lag behind too much. Not looking good here. Taiki Shuttle is pretty fast, and then whoever this is in the black and red. I think we lost this one. Yeah, not so good there. Our top speed isn't, on Sakura Bakushino is not 1200. So I think ideally I'd want to rerun her so that she is 1200 speed. It does make a difference. So maybe she'll be someone I rerun. I could just swap in Grass Wonder for her too. My Grass Wonder is pretty strong. Or maybe I should swap her to a front runner. Her 1200 wit would definitely help with her. Keep her as a, stay in the front. As a front runner. She's a pace chaser right now. We'll speed this up even more here. Just get through it. Our positioning is pretty horrible, other than Bakushin. But Bakushin's sort of lagging a little bit. I'd like her to be right up on her ass, but she won. So that's 2 races she won. Nice. Doesn't look like the other horses I have are competitive at all. Although Nice Nature might be doing something as far as debuffing goes. Not quite sure. I could try just running 3 aces. Vodka doesn't seem like she's competitive though, so I might swap her out. Because usually, if you have 3 good horses, like they'll take turns winning for the most part. Yeah, I mean, you might have one horse that wins a majority of the time, and then, sometimes the other 2 will make up for like bad moods and stuff. But so I mean, we've only run 3 races so far, so but it doesn't look like Vodka's even placing in the top 3, which is surprising to me. Although she's in a bad mood, I guess. Or no, she's in a normal mood. My Vodka's in a normal mood. But if she was strong enough, she would place, which I don't understand. She's a 1200 speed, 1100 power, whatever horse. Maybe her stamina's too low. I don't know, man. I think it should be enough for a mile. But... Also, her skills are not really popping off. She's not popping any skills. Did I not give her any or something? No, she has some. She's popping some of them off. I don't know, man. She's at the back of the pack here. Oh, we lost that one by a lot. Yeah. 4th, 7th, and 9th? Yeah. I don't know if I even want to be in Group A. I think Group B is the place to be. Group A is just the whales are a little too big there in that pool. It's more like the ocean. Not ready for the ocean yet. I like the ponds that I'm in. I guess we'll see what we get naturally here. Wow. That Silent Suzuka just took off. She's way ahead of everybody. Well, my Bakushin is probably didn't win actually. Someone else came up from behind. Who came from behind? 4th? What the fuck? Who won? King Halo won? 1193, 800, 920. 800 for mile, huh? I guess higher level stamina is the way to go on the mile. I mean, 600 should be enough for a mile. But yeah, I mean, 800 is better. Not a lot of weight on her, but yeah. Take a look at her supports. 3 speed, 2 stamina, and Kashimoto. I don't understand how they're getting 1200 speed from this. I mean, I guess they're SSRs, and they're pretty much max limit break. That probably has something to do with it. Wish I was, wish I had the same. I could say the same. That I had those kinds of cards. But I do not. Alright, we can enter 2 more times here, so we might as well. I think I'm gonna switch out Nice Nature here for Vodka is good. I don't know why she's losing. She's good. She was not ranked in all 5 races. Wow, that's really surprising to me. Why she's not doing better? Is she should be a miler. I guess she's not an S in anything. Is that why? All the other horses like S's basically? That is possible. That is a bummer, man. Where the hell is my I guess I could swap in Daiwa Scarlet and see how she does. Here's my Grass Wonder. This Grass Wonder should do okay. Should I give Vodka another chance? I guess I'll give Vodka another chance. I don't know. I believe, man. I think she's good. But if she doesn't place at all this round either, then yeah, I guess she's just not good. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe all these other horses have S ratings in turf and mile and stuff. That's why probably why we're not competing, even though the stats are good. Yeah, we're just not. We're just getting dominated. Just not good enough at all. Wow, got killed there. I mean, she did place the highest vodka. What are we up against here? Taiki Shuttle, S and Mile. Yeah, S ratings. This one used a 3-wit, 2 speed card deck. So very similar to my 4-wit, 1 speed card Kashimoto deck. Similar stats, I would say. A little bit less wit than what I normally get, but I do wit max. So I'm seeing similar strategies here. You know what I mean? From the ones I've developed. So that's validation, I guess, right? But I was not in the top 3 at all. This guy's horses are. This guy's in 13,000. 13,000, almost 14,000. This is just only an A, and it beat me. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It must be RNG, race RNG or something. I don't really understand why my horses aren't doing all that well. It seems like they should be. Maybe it seems like a lot of these other horses have a lot more stamina. They're all up in the 800 range. Even just for a miler. Let's see here. What are we looking at? No, I mean, these are 520, 540, 590. So they're only like 500. Maybe I got matched with a lesser group. I don't know. It's probably every race is probably like narrowing down my opponents, you know what I mean? So that they're more along in my level. So it's probably like zigzagging. So it'll match me up with, you know, really strong players that have higher stats than my horses do. And then if I lose, then it'll drop me down to like a loser bracket of like the crappy players. And then if I win, then it bounces me back up, you know. I'm probably ping-ponging between, you know, I mean, different groups of players here to match me in the correct brackets. Oh, Vodka finally won, so I'm glad I kept her in the lineup. So she's taking some races here. Now I gotta see Grass Wonder maybe take a race. Nice Nature, maybe she was doing something as a debuffer though. I don't know. If Grass Wonder doesn't really place even, then she might be out of the team, off the team, and I'll probably just run with Nice Nature again. At least she's the sacrificial lamb, right? Just sacrifice her body for the debuffs. Looks like Sakura Bakushino, she can hold on. Nope, she didn't hold on. So we lost that one. We're ping-ponging. Vodka came in second. Sakura Bakushino is not really winning anything now. Oops. She was winning all the races in the first round, or the first run through that we did. But now she's not really winning anything, which is sort of interesting. You would think that the horse that wins the most would just keep winning, right? But not really. She probably does need to be 1200 speed though. It's gonna bother me. Vodka's looking pretty strong here. She's way outside though. She might have been too far outside. That looks like a loss again. Another loss. Yeah. Grass Wonder is not even anywhere close to anybody. So she might have been a bad choice to put on the team. I guess I could try Daiwa. Maybe I'll try Daiwa Scarlet next. Stick her on the team. I thought Grass Wonder was a better runner than Daiwa. But I guess I'm wrong. Although there might be some inherent advantage to runners that are not in the back of the pack. So maybe I should change Sakura Bakushino to a front runner. And Vodka and whoever else to pace chasers. I don't know if Grass Wonder is really a pace chaser style. But that could help. Because being at the back of the race, there's no advantage to it, honestly. Especially in a mile, because you don't really need the stamina. You don't need to conserve stamina. I think we lost again. So maybe in the next round I'll just swap their... I'll just switch their... Oh, Vodka won. I'll switch how their running styles and see how they do. If it's any better. Alright, so this is the last ticket that we have entry. For free at least. I don't think I'm going to spend carrots to keep running. We will change Sakura Bakushino to a front runner. We will change Vodka to a pace chaser. And Grass Wonder, I guess we could leave as a late surger. I don't know that... So we have all three, right? All three kinds. I don't know that... she didn't even place. So I wonder if I should just get rid of her. 1200, 700, and 1000. I mean, this Daiwa Scarlet's kind of worse. But she is better as far as the amount of points that she has. Maybe, okay, maybe I'll just swap her out for... or maybe I'll turn her into a pace chaser and leave Vodka as a late surger, because Vodka did win as a late surger a couple times. So now I have one in every category. Maybe we'll do that. Weird. 2 firsts and a bunch of unranks. So she either wins or loses. She either wins really hard or loses really hard. There's like no in between. Which is weird. My other races that I've run in the previous cups weren't like that. They would at least place or come in first or place. You know what I mean? They would kind of... They wouldn't like... There wouldn't be such a big difference between the races of either winning or losing. If they lost, they'd only lose by a little. But this time it looks like they're just... They either win or they lose, like real bad. There's no in between. Kind of weird, but you know, whatever. All right, we'll see if this is any different with Bakushin as a front runner, which he's not really doing. She's at the back of the pack now. She's gonna come in last, actually. She's probably not fast enough. Her speed rating is probably not high enough, honestly. Wow, dude, we just got destroyed. Just demolished. Grass Wonder came in a higher placement now, this time. Very interesting. So Bakushino might not be the best choice here, just because her speed is not 1200 maxed out. Yeah, I kind of thought that. She is my highest rated horse though, so. But yeah, it probably makes sense to swap her out for someone who has 1200 speed. Speed is the king in this game. So she's probably not going to do well at all. How did she come in first then? She came in first like twice. Oops. Why do I keep doing that? Yeah, she's not good as a front runner at all. Where is my Sakura Bakushino? She's not even on the screen. None of my horses are on the screen. What the hell? Are they on the screen? Oh, is that mine? Oh, mine wasn't first. Where's the little arrows above their heads or whatever? Third, fourth, fifth. Okay. I mean, at least that's a little bit more consistent. It's better. We lost every race so far. I don't think we're going to make it into Group A here. I think we're going to get demoted down to Group B, which I don't mind. Probably more people at my level. I mean, these guys are they're all using SSR cards pretty much. A full deck of SSRs supports. So they should be winning. Yeah, Sakura Bakushino as a front runner is just not working. She is just not fast enough. Whoa, Vodka really turned on jets there. That's the first time I've seen her run so fast. Don't know if we won. I think the girl in the wedding dress won. Oh no, Vodka did win. First, third, and seventh? I don't know. That seems kind of widespread again. Kind of all over the place here. No consistency. I mean, I thought Grass Wonder was a pretty strong horse, but I guess not. Because what is she again? She's probably pretty strong. Oh, this Vodka is really strong. Ooh-wee. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this race for sure. That Vodka was a powerhouse. This Fuji Kiseki is pretty good too. Saiyan Sky. This is my Grass Wonder. I mean, I think this is pretty strong, but she's just not doing well. I don't know, man. Do I not? Maybe I just don't, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's the S rating, the turf rating. The distance and turf rating. I don't have S's in those. That could be the difference here. That's probably what the difference is. Second place. I mean, at least we're top 5, I guess. Let's see. No S rating on Vodka. Yeah, this Vodka was a problem. I could tell. But this isn't that much better than mine, is what I'm saying. Like, this is my Vodka. I think this is just just as good or better, right? I don't know. I really don't think, I don't feel like this is a better horse. I mean, the skills, maybe the skills did it. It could be the skills. Hmm. This Fuji Kiseki was pretty tough too. Um, what is this guy using? Rice Shower, Kashimoto level 30, and 3 speed cards and two power. Yeah, very similar to what I'm doing. This guy looks like a free to play because he has SR cards in his deck. Key to some black is max limit break though. A little bit suspicious, but I guess that's possible. Um, yeah, I just don't understand why my horses are not as good. Definitely not as many skills, so that could be part of it. Yeah, not as many skills there, not that many skills here. My vodka, not that many skills. This one has a lot more. Maybe that's what it is. Well, I don't think I made. I'm gonna make Group A. I guess I could pay carrots to run it the last time that's available to me to try to make it in that group, but I don't know that it's even worth it. That group's gonna be filled with a bunch of guys that I lost to. You know what I mean? So what's the even point of making it up there? I'm just gonna lose to them. I think we have to get 3 wins just to qualify though. I don't know, I guess we'll check it after this. This is the last race of this set series. So Sakura Bakushino, I might have to swap out for somebody else, or just remake her. I might run her career again or something. Vodka is winning pretty consistently now. So the competition must be getting more equalized. They're putting me with people who are more like around my level. So we only won 2 of them. That's probably not going to be good enough. Yeah, we're firmly in Group B. We need 3 wins to advance to Group A. I'm not sure that I want to be in Group A. It's going to just be too hard. And I'm in the advanced league again this time just because I'm too lazy to make horses for open league, because you're capped at a B, I believe. And I don't feel like doing that. I'm just gonna, you know, just play how I normally play, and then just whatever horses I have, I'm just gonna throw in here. I might run Sakura Bakushino, or you know, some of the other horses that are milers again, specifically built for this race. Just because I want to run Sakura Bakushino again anyway, to get 1200 speed, because the one I have is only 1000 speed, I believe, or 1100 speed. It got 1200 wit, so it was just kind of backwards. I think Tokai Teo could be pretty good also. Is she a miler? No, she's not. Okay. So maybe El Condor Pasa. She's a miler. So I could possibly rerun this one as well. Is Simbali Rudolph a miler? No, she's not. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel like my horses are just as good as theirs, but for whatever reason I'm not winning. Maybe it's a skill issue. Don't have as many skills as they do. I'm not exactly sure. Shouldn't really matter all that much. It's not like the skills are all, you know, I guess they do add up, but I don't think it's should make that much of a difference. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I really honestly don't know how the algorithm for that works. The RNG. Maybe I'm just getting bad RNG or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm happy with Group B though, because the rewards in Group B are the same as you would get in Open League. If you're in Group A Open League and you won everything first place, is the same kind of rewards you would get as in Group B in Graded League, and getting first in your bracket or whatever. I think it's very similar. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. Something I would get in Open League in anyway, and I don't have to create custom horses for that just for that. So I can be lazy and it not affect me. Okay, so just to recap today, basically the main thing to take away is the build, right? You want to run in Unity Cup if you're running a long distance horse, which is going to be medium and long. But although from looking at this Virgo Cup that we just ran, it looks like a lot of milers have a lot of stamina too. It looks like a lot of the milers are looking at 800 stamina. So maybe just the build to go for. I know last week we built sprinters with where is it? We were building sprinters with four wit cards, right? And just basically turning them into just wit maxing, basically, right? So you don't have to rest, basically, right? You just train wit, don't rest at all, 0 rests. You do the recreations with Kashimoto, and then you just train speed whenever you get it, right? So with 0 resting and all training, nothing but training, using wit as your resting, right? Then you can make pretty good horses, but maybe not good enough for Virgo Cup, because it looks like in Virgo Cup, what you want to be doing is creating horses using this deck here, which is basically 4 speed cards, right? You're gonna borrow 1 speed card. Rice Shower if you have it. If you don't, then you can substitute in Super Creek, or you could borrow Rice Shower, right? And Kashimoto. That's pretty much. And looking at some of the other horses and the enemy horses that other people have made, their support decks look very similar actually. So something I happened to find organically, just me testing different things, this is what I came up with: 4 speed, Kashimoto, and Rice Shower power card. If you don't have Rice Shower, you could use Super Creek. But that's pretty much the build you want to go with. In Unity Cup, just play it like you would play a normal URA scenario. Don't care so much about the bubbles that much. Take the bubble trainings if it makes sense, right? Most of the time it doesn't. Just natural RNG will either, get you a good Unity Cup run, or it won't. There's no reason to go out of your way to do bubble trainings and stuff. It just doesn't do anything for you. So just play it like a normal URA. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then just run the career again. And you'll get better horses than you were getting in URA just because there's extra stats in the scenario. But it's pretty much the same. So in URA, I was very consistently getting A's, right? In Unity, it seems like I'm very consistently getting A pluses, right? And that's just because the extra, I think about 200 stats you get. Not 200 stats, but 200 points, like career points or whatever. At the end of the career, you get like a rating, and I'm getting consistently 200 points more, generally. Sometimes a lot more than that. Sometimes about the same as before. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This deck is pretty much the one you should be using for all your horses. It seems like now, just because of the horses I've been losing to in the Virgo Cup. Their staminas are pretty high. They're built like medium distance horses, to me, but maybe that's the way to go. And guts and wit still don't really matter all that much, even after the change where guts is supposed to be more important now, but it doesn't seem like it. So yeah, take from that what you will. Hopefully that helped you. Let's see, next week I'll be back next week. I don't know exactly what I'll have for you, but I'll think of something. And there's a lot of events and stuff going on, some crazy stuff. I guess another event's going to start pretty soon. Also, this Halloween thing. So a lot of stuff happening, so I'm sure I'll have something to talk about. So anyway, that's it for me tonight, and thanks for watching.